Hey everybody! One of the things that I've been wanting to try is to turn a cube on a bias. So I made a cube out of some kiln dried walnut and resin tinted with pearlescent mica powder. I've got two pieces on the ends that are about 2 inches thick, and then a piece in the middle that's about 3/4, and then the resin is in between there. So there's kind of two sort of racing stripes. I lost a little bit of resin from the center around the edges, so I don't have a cube, a perfect cube anymore, which you'll see here in a minute. So I took it back on the table saw and basically turned it back into a cube. So there's where the resin is missing. And then the other thing that I did was I put it on my compound miter saw and I cut a flat spot on the end there for the tailstock to push up against, because there isn't a chuck. This is just basically wedged between the spindle and the tailstock with a friction fit, and I wanted to make sure that it was going to push evenly and give me the best possibility to have the wings come out the same size and to be even. So I cut that little flat with basically I turned the miter saw to 45-degree angle, and then I put it on a bevel that I think was somewhere around 35 degrees, and that came out with that flat spot. So that gave me a really nice spot to put the tailstock, because my little center point, as far as I can tell, doesn't come out, and so that made it sit even more strangely. So I had to go to a slightly bigger tenon because I didn't have enough meat down there at the first one, which is not really going to be a problem. So I'm going to try and get the shape done as much as I can before I put it in the chuck, partially just because I'm still so lousy at doing a pull cut that if I can get it most of the way done going at it with a push cut, I'm going to be a lot better off and a lot less frustrated. You can see I've still got a ways to go before I get it to the point where all of the edges are gone. And oh hey, I'm over 5,100 subscribers now, so we're definitely going to be doing a giveaway. I'll talk to you guys a little bit more about that toward the end of the video, so stick around and get the details about what we're going to do. This is my simple wood turning tools shear scraper. I just bought a new carbide cutter for it, and it is performing a lot better than it used to. I must have had a dull cutter. I'm still getting not a particularly smooth finish here, and I'm not sure if that's just me or maybe if my tool rest needs a little bit of attention, but it did a nice job of cleaning up most of the tool marks. I love that sapwood in the centerpiece. I think that's so cool. So I'm going to do the same thing here, except that I'm going to just do it with the tools because I can already mount it. I want to cut a flat spot at the end here so that I can leave the tailstock up as long as possible. So I just knocked the corner off, and it gives that little center point something to grip onto. Ooh, it's chewing it up. Kind of got the grain going every which way here. So this is my Thompson 5/8 bull gouge with a fingernail grind on it. And I just ordered, there she is, a half-inch 40/40 gouge. I ordered it from Cindy Drozda because she puts the 40/40 grind on it. Doug says that he doesn't really know how to do that, so he doesn't sell them with that grind on it, even though it's still a Thompson tool. So I'm a really lousy hand sharpener. I have the Wolverine jig, and I did actually buy the Ron Brown 40/40 setup jig, and I think that I'm going to be able to maintain the 40/40 grind that Cindy put on there with that jig. Just trying to take some really light cuts and get the wings smoothed out. That's my Easy Wood Tools negative rake circular carbide cutter. This is my simple wood turning tools. What do they call that? It's just a regular circular cutter. It doesn't have the negative rake on it. And I use that for more hogging out material and then come back with the negative rake cutter to clean up the mess that one leaves. And it does leave a mess on the resin. I'm sampling all of the tools from everybody. This one is Axe by Carter diamond carbide tool, and I'm very happy with that. I decided that before I finished hollowing out the inside completely that I was going to go ahead and finish the outside, just in the event that it might help keep me from getting any additional flexing out toward the edges. So I sanded, I think I went 80 to 400, and then I used denatured alcohol to get some of the dust and stuff off, and then a 1 pound coat of shellac, and then right now I'm using the Axe abrasive sanding paste. And I'm using just my hands up until the point where you can see the wings start. And then I'm going to hold the paper towel with that little dish scrubby. And that lets me put just a little bit of pressure on there to help the wax and stuff melt, but it keeps my fingers out of the way. And if the piece were to grab hold of that dish scrubby, it would just take it out of my hands and toss it, and it wouldn't hurt me. So that works out pretty well for some of these funky edges that you can't just do a normal finishing process on. You gotta keep your fingers away from the pointy spinny bits. Okay, now we're going to finish hollowing it out. This is a square carbide cutter that I'm using right here, and I put a little ridge, I don't know what to call it. Anyway, I put a little spot in there because my initial plan was to make this box or bowl, whatever you want to call it, with a lid and a finial. So I cut that little ridge in to give the lid someplace to sit down. And I got the bowl done, and I really liked the way the bowl looked, but I decided that I was going to go ahead and make a lid anyway. So I took another cut off of that 2-inch thick piece of walnut and made a very domed lid. And then I cast a round blank for the finial. I used a 1-inch piece of PVC pipe and did the same resin with the pearlescent mica powder in it. And I made a pretty awesome finial. But once I got it done and put it on this bowl, everybody decided that we liked it better without it. So I'll make something else for that lid and finial to go on. But this is just gonna be a bowl. Super light passes here, trying to clean the insides of those wings up. So I sanded off camera and did the denatured alcohol, and this is the shellac that I'm putting on as a sealer coat. And then we're going to do the Axe abrasive paste and then the polishing paste. I use the same trick on the inside with the dish scrubby. So that's just a piece of pine that I use as a jam chuck. I have a piece of rug gripper from IKEA that I have folded up inside there to cushion the inside of the bowl, but it was just too much material and I couldn't get it to sit flat. This isn't much better, but I finally decided that it was close enough and I was just going to take the tenon off. Now, everybody hold your breath and let's see if I can actually manage to get the tenon off of here without going through the bottom. I'll give you a hint. I left it pretty thick on the bottom. Okay, so, giveaway. 5,000 subscribers. That's just crazy talk, you guys. So we're definitely going to do a giveaway, but one of the viewers suggested that I give you guys a choice as to what you could win, and I thought that sounded like a really cool idea. So I'm not going to announce anything this week because I still have a couple of things to get together in order to make this happen. But next video, we're going to have the giveaway, and whoever wins will pick from, I don't know, maybe 3 different projects. So in the meantime, I'm super happy with the way this came out. I love it. I think the racing stripes are awesome. I'm really pleased with this project. So welcome to all of the new subscribers. Thank you very much to everybody who's been with me and those who continue to stop by and watch the videos and reach out with comments. I really appreciate that. Next time we'll be ready for the giveaway. Until then, y'all be safe out there.